Coming home from a successful campaign, Prince Don Pedro and his soldiers Benedict and Claudio are welcomed as guests by the wealthy Leonato. Benedict trades verbal barbs with Leonato's niece, Beatrice. Claudio falls head over heels for Leonato's daughter, Hero, and makes a plan to woo her with the prince and Benedict. Don Pedro's half-brother schemes with his underlings to ruin everybody's stay. The prince helps Claudio earn his hand in marriage, and a date is set. Benedict and Beatrice proclaim that the other is the absolute worst and that they will never marry in general. The others plan to trick them into falling in love with each other, while Don John forms his own plan to ruin Claudio and Hero's wedding day.
Hero and Ursula now do their part to trick Beatrice into thinking Benedict is secretly in love with her.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlour. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her that I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen our propose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close to the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasance angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new-trothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Did not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate as a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly were not good she knew his love, lest she'll make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister, if tall, a lance ill-headed, if low, an agate very vilely cut, if speaking, why, a vein blown with all winds, if silent, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice's cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day, tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reporting thee.
While the others mock Benedick for his recent changes, Don John begins spreading misinformation.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, for what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
Say so I. Methinks you're sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him that is truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What, sigh for the toothache?
Where is it but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he's in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy he hath to strange disguises, as to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once, as a German from the waist downward all slops, and a Spaniard from the hip upward, no doublet, unless he have a fancy to this foolery, which it appears he hath. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. He brushes his hat to mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger with the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say, the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and is now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and despite his ill conditions, and despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good evening, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuring marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shorten, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I would fit her to it. Wed not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough, and when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, then tomorrow, in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned!
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting!
Oh, plague right well prevented! So will you say when you've seen the sequel?
Dogberry, Messina's master constable, reviews the watchmen under his command.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were too good a punishment for them if they should have any allegiance in 'em, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man fit to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Why, for your favor, sir, give God thanks and make no boast of it. As for your reading and writing, let that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought to be the most senseless and fit man to be constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. You are to comprehend any vagrom men, and bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why, let him go, but presently call the watch of the rest together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
He will not stand when he is bidden. He is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and the watch are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You are also to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will all rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I do not see how sleeping should offend. Only take care that your bills not be stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses, and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why, let them alone till they are sober, and if they make not of you the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kinds of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, The more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think those that touch pitch shall be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal him out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly. I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man with any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that does not hear the lamb when it baas will never hear the calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you should meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, byre lady, that I think he cannot.
5 to 1 shillings on it. With any man who knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry, not without the prince's bewilling, for the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offence to stay a man against his will.
Byre lady, I think it be so.
Ha! Well, masters, good night. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. And, come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here upon the church bench until 2, and then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you, keep watch about Signor Leonato's door, for the wedding tomorrow brings great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Mass and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. Now, forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore know, I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy could be so rich. For when rich villains are in need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowst that the fashion of a doublet or hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush, I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He has been a vile thief this 7 year. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas a vein on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 35, sometimes fashioning them like the Pharaoh's soldiers in the Ricci painting, sometimes like God Bell's priests in the old church window, sometimes like the shaven Hercules in the smirched worm-eaten tapestry, where his cod pieces seem as massy as his club.
All this I see, and I see that the apparel wears more fashion than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, being as thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so, neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely, for I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in this orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slanders Don John had made. Away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed the next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw o'ernight, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name. Stand!
Call up the right master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters!
You'll be made bring deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters, never speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up of these men's bills. Come, we'll obey you.
Hero prepares for her wedding with Ursula and Margaret while teasing Beatrice, who seems very much in love.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well.
Troth, I think your other Roberta wore better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troths, not so good. I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire, within excellently. If her hair were a thought browner, and the gown's most rare fashion, I faith I saw in the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troths, not a nightgown, in respect of yours. Cloth of gold and cuts, laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts round, unrown, with bluish tinsel. But for fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me saying in your reverence, a husband, of bad thinking, not worth true speaking. I'll offend nobody. There is any harm in a heavier for a husband? None, I think, and in it the right husband and wife. Otherwise, 'tis not heavier. Ask Lady Beatrice, else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Clap, in the light of love, that goes without burden. Do you sing it, and I'll dance it.
You light o' love with your heels. Then if your husband have stables enough, you'll see he shall lack no barns.
Oh, illegitimate construction, I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk, a house, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all, H.
Well, you are not turned to tank. There is no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool, tro?
Nothing, but God send their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me. They are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin, I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me, God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. Doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get some of this distilled Carnus Benedictus and lay it in your heart. There is only one thing for a qualm.
There thou prick'st her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus? What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, and Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me. Good cause, good Meg, good Ursula.
Dogberry goes to Leonato to inform him about the plots of Borachio and Conrad.
What would you have with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, we should have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were, but in faith, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odious palabras, neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor Duke's officers. But surely, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow you all my worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh?
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for though I hear as good exclamation on your worship as any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
Old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said in faith, neighbor Verges. Well, God's a good man, and when two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul in faith, sir, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
A word, sir. Our watch hath indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it to me. I am in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffigance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they say for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good neighbor. Get you to Francis Seacole, and bid him bring his pen and inkhorn and meet me at the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We shall spare no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall get some of them in anon come, and only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
The wedding that we have all been waiting for.
Come, Prior Francis, be brief. Only the praying form of marriage, and they shall recount their duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know of any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge on you to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer none.
Oh, what men dare do. What men may do. What men daily do, not knowing what they do.
Oh no, interjections? Why then some be of nothing.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not this blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resilience of her youth and the defeat of her virginity, I swear...
I know what you would say if I have known her. You will say she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, shown bashful sincerity and comely love.
Seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee, seeming. I will write against it. You seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True? Oh, God.
Leonato, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and with that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then are you no maiden? Leonato, I am sorry you must appear, but upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with the ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they've had 1,000 times in secret.
Aye, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure in piety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man spear a dagger point for me?
Oh my God.
Why, how now, cousin Hero, wherefore sink you down?
Let us go. These things come best to light, smother her spirit up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, Uncle Hero, why Hero, Uncle, Senor Benedict Friar.
O fate, take away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover of her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Can she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not Live, hero, do not open thine eyes, for I think thou wouldst so quickly die. Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would, on the reward of reproaches, strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Chid I for that frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee, why had I won? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? Why had I not with a charitable hands took up a beggar's issue at my gates? Who, smirched thus and mired with infamy, this I might have said, no part of this is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was so proud on, mine so much. And mine that I myself was to myself not mine valuing of her. Why she, oh, she is fallen into a bitter beak. The white sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little to may season to her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not, although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Oh, that stronger maid which were before barred with ribs of iron, would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie that loved her so, speaking of her foulness, washed with tears, hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I've only been silent so long, and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have mocked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start in her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. 'Twas not my reading nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. 'Twas not my age, my reverence, my calling, my divinity. This sweet lady not lie guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest all the grace she hath left is that she will not to add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou to cover up an excuse which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
I know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove ye that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprison in these princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be mizzled in this, the practice of it lives in John the bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not if they speak but the truth of her. These hands shall tear her. If they do wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age ate up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor bad life reft me so much of friends. They shall find, awaken in such a kind, in both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means, and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let me counsel sway you in this case.
And so the friar explains his plan to convince Claudio that Hero had died, all while exposing the root of his misbelief. Claudio will have such a shame at the thought of her death that he will agree to marry anyone of Leonato's choosing. Thus Leonato will have him marry a woman who is secretly Hero, and all will be well.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you, and though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, Yet, by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may leave me.
'Tis well consented. Presently, away, for to strain sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
Will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
Very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest. I love thee.
Well then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Fare you well.
Terry, Terry.
And gone though I am here, there is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
Faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first?
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Oh, is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice, there's...
Talk with a man out at a window? A proper saying.
Nay.
Sweet hero, she is scorned, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
Printed in counties, a princely testimony, a goodly count confect, a sweet gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die, a woman with grieving.
Terry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so farewell.